Rudy, this is Brian Rademacher from RockEyez. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Brian. You're fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, too. I mean,
okay.
We did plenty of interviews in the past and stuff, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. You seem like, you know, like a real person and, you know, not phony like a lot of people are.
Well, that's unfortunate to hear.
I know.
The other people.
It's definitely true. You know.
Okay.
So, let's get right down to it. Earlier in the year, you did, I guess, a DVD, CD, Immortal Randy Rhoads, The Ultimate Tribute. Can you tell me anything about that?
Yeah, actually, it was started last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I did most of my tracking beginning last year because it was a long process, you know, because I would get the drums and guide rhythms while Bob Kulick, who I just got off the phone with, he was the producer of that, and while he could schedule potential guitar players, guest guitar players to play on it.
Right.
So it was a lengthy process. As a matter of fact, I don't even recall having the actual finished vocals when I recorded the bass tracks. But what really helped me was the fact that I had played most of those songs already with Ozzy and Randy and Tommy.
Right.
So it's not like there were any surprises as far as what, you know, the parts were going to be.
Right.
Because with the exception of, let's say, Tom Morello, there were not a whole lot of liberties taken on the play, even though Bob Kulick ultimately asked all of the guitar players involved to bring in their own spin, but it was pretty close to the original, you know.
Right.
You know, the essence of what Randy played on the albums was maintained.
Right. Right. Okay. Also, tell me a little bit how that works when you're doing Skype bass lessons. How's that work?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You know, I'm always looking for lessons and knowledge on the internet, and I find, especially with bass lessons, a lot of the instructors, even though mine are one-on-one, Skype. They're not like, you know, me going up there and saying, okay, this is a riff. This is how you play it.
Right.
It's not about that. It's about finding where the student is, which is something that I learned back in the mid-'70s when I started teaching at Musonia, which is Randy Rhoads' mom's school, which is still actually open. And Randy, while I was a member of Quiet Riot, got me the gig there. And he mentored me about teaching because Randy had been teaching for many years before I started teaching there. I had never taught before. So he really mentored me in all of the needs of the students. Because it's not ever about the teacher, it's about the students' needs, you know, that must be focused on. So I've been on and off teaching all the time. Right. And now with the opportunity of being able to do it globally through the internet, I mean, that opens so many options. I mean, one of them is, for example, I have done clinics in South America in Spanish. I did that about a couple of years ago. Right. So this gives me an opportunity to reach out to the Latin market and share my knowledge about not just the bass, but music, the whole music industry, music theory, what, you know, bands, the components and the dynamics of what makes a band a successful entity, things like that. And things that, you know, without the internet, I wouldn't be able to do that in globally, you know, be able to reach so far.
Right. Wow. That got to be like amazing, actually, because you could reach just about India, anywhere you want to go to.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I mean, and I have a really excellent high-speed setup in my house, in my studio. So, I mean, it's you know, it's top of the line quality transmission through Skype. So yeah, I mean, if the person at the other end has something similar,
right,
we're all set. Absolutely.
Cool. Now, also, Frankie Banali, he has, I guess, a movie where now you're here. There's No Way Back, and you were part of that too. Can you tell me anything about that?
Yeah, it's a documentary from the point of view of Frankie's need to carry on with his life and his music career.
Right.
And not only that, but also carrying on the torch.
Right.
For the legacy of Quiet Riot. Post Evan Dubrow.
Right.
And it's a magnificent documentary, and I'm very proud to have been asked to be involved in it.
Cool. Also, you have, I guess, Gonzo with Traccii Guns, and you've been doing shows and stuff like that. And Go ahead. Yeah. With Traccii, I'm in a couple of bands. We have, of course, Gunzo, that we had just finished doing a leg of a tour with Bullet Boys, and also Devil City Angel. Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm very, very happy to be a part of that. I mean, the record sounds amazing. Eric Brittingham played all the bass on it, and then for some reason he left.
Oh, wow.
So they called me up, and I jumped on it because I actually saw the band back in November of last year performing live at an event in Las Vegas, and they sounded great, and their record's just phenomenal. Great songs.
Right.
And and I not only am I playing already with Traccii in one band, but also I've known Ricky since we toured together when I was in Whitesnake.
Wow.
Back in as a matter of fact, we shared the same management, HK management back then.
Right.
So I really know all those guys from Poison really well, and he's a great drummer. And Brandon Gibbs is a fantastic singer. He's got that bluesy, but also with a modern edge to it, which makes it very unique.
Wow. And when's that CD supposed to come out?
In September.
Okay. Also, can you tell me anything about axes and anchors?
Yeah, it's I've never done a cruise, one of those rock and roll cruises before.
Right. Yeah.
So again, early on in the year, Traccii, even before Gonzo started, got booked on that. So of course, we're kind of like falling into that, rolling into the Traccii booking into a Gonzo booking, and I've been asked to do a clinic during the cruise, which I'm really looking forward to because this is something that I do a lot. My master class. I've been doing rock and roll fantasy camp for over 8 years now, and there's always master classes in the fantasy camp. So I really enjoyed that process a lot.
Cool. Now, I watched some of the video of Gonzo. I think you might have had it on your Facebook or Gonzo's Facebook and stuff like that. And I noticed, like, watching the live show, the feed, fans are, all they care about now is getting video from their cell phones. Does that annoy you at all?
I am so busy playing. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, when we put together Gonzo, was basically with the license to play as many notes as logically possible.
Right.
It's almost like a jam band. What we wanted to do was, in essence, go back to like the way bands played in the 70s.
Right.
Back when musicianship really was the primary reason why people got together, because they really enjoyed playing with each other.
Right.
And you have to have chops. Like every single rhythm section that inspired me, or I even heard on record. I mean, those guys could really play.
Right.
And if I go back to them today, I go, yeah, they're still kicking my ass.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the spirit of Gonzo. I'm not really that much looking at the audience or throwing shapes. I'm playing.
Right.
I'm finding new ways how to play the song, and so I'm more focused on that than in anything else.
Right.
So and I look at it and I say, well, maybe these fans they want to recapture something, and And if they do, they post it, so I really appreciate that.
Cool. Now, when you play a song of Ozzy's, like a cover song, well, it's not a cover song for you, but I mean, when you play a song, what memories do you have, or what goes through your mind?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because with Gonzo, it's a bit different than doing it with, let's say, when I do the Randy Rhoads Remember shows. But those are, the whole evening is about that.
Right.
It's about, it's Randy's memory, Randy's legacy. There's so much focus. So even before I get up on stage, there's a bit of melancholy with me.
Right.
Because, of course, he's no longer with us.
Right.
So it's the whole different emotional process that I have to prepare myself for. Whereas with Gonzo, it's, we open up with some LA Guns, and we do an Ozzy, then we carry on to something else. So it doesn't really give me that much time to get me emotionally attached. Because it goes by so quick.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get into the type of emotional funk, borderline depression, when I'm there playing all these songs without Randy being there, I mean, it's the whole set, or the whole evening being about that,
Cool.
It's just, and the same, because, when I was doing Deal Disciples,
right,
it was the same, no matter how great the band sounded, because it was actually, the whole Deal band, but with different singers, and one of them was Tim Ripper Owens, and he's phenomenal.
Right.
And again, no matter how good the band sounded, you're doing a whole evening for Ronnie, and it put me in an emotional funk, But to do one song, okay, that's fine. You do the song, you celebrate the memory, and you move on. You know what I mean? So you're not spending that much, time, with the subject matter to actually drag you down and make you depressed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, I notice on your Facebook you have a lot of stuff on animal rights and stuff like that, and right now the United States is, going through, I guess, an emotional time with Cecil the lion and stuff like that. Can you tell me any of your views towards animal rights?
Yeah, I mean, I as a matter of fact, I think that they're working on a bill to give animal rights the same rights as human beings. They're all living creatures.
Right.
And there should be a law passed to protect other living creatures rather than just human beings.
Right.
So I am very much in favor of that. And basically, what I do is there's certain shelters that come through my timeline, and all I'm doing is just sharing them in the hopes that somebody else out there, can actually find a home for them.
Right. Also, one other question I want to ask. What's your feeling about the Cuba situation with the United States and the embassy open? It sounds great to me. I just want to know what your feelings are, since you're from Cuba descent.
Yeah, very simple. As long as it remains a communist dictatorship that is over 50 years old,
right?
I don't think that the people are going to get any benefit from it.
Right. Wow.
I mean, this is a subject for a whole different interview.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really dense
as
far as the pros and cons about it.
Right. Wow. Is there any time that you actually take a break from music?
Oh, no.
I didn't think so.
I'm trying to find even more time.
Right.
To actually put into music.
Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Rudy Sarzo, the legend, man. It was great talking to you, and, it's always a pleasure, man.
Such a pleasure as always.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support all these years.
Wow. You have anything to say to the fans out there?
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for coming to our shows, and thank you for, times are tough out there for everybody.
Right.
For the fans and everything, and every time somebody shows up, it just, I become more and more appreciative,
Yeah. Great, man. Thanks a lot, Rudy.
Thank you, Brian.
Bye-bye.
God bless.